Can we have a very short Q&A?
Yeah.
I have some for you.
Cool.
Make sure you got it. I think everybody agrees that Trevor's done a hell of a job.
Oh, thanks.
I wanted to give you a plaque right here. It says, Trevor Munson, creator, thank you for opening the door to Moonlight.
I'm having fun. Yes.
I was wondering, I've been curious as an originator of the original creative piece, what are your feelings on people basically playing with your choice creating fanfic? As an originator, what are your thoughts on, what are your feelings about fan fiction?
I think it's interesting, you know. I mean, it's strange to see the characters being manipulated, you know. But I mean, I think you give up your control when you put it out there in the first place. You know, when as a creator of a show, you give up control when they bring other writers in and they begin to, you know, come up with ideas, and so it's just kind of, you know, part and parcel of that whole process. You know, it's interesting and cool to see people love a character so much that they want to put words in you know, his mouth, or, you know, create scenarios for him. But it's a unique experience to see that happen.
My question is off of that. Taking something, you know, creating something and kind of putting it out in the world for people to see and comment. And, you know, how do you deal with, like you said, that, you know, Lone Star State of Mind didn't really turn out the way you visualized it, and other people, you know, taking what you wrote and then creating the show. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you get over just the emotional response that you have to that? And before you answer, I just want to thank you so much for coming such a long way for so short a period of time.
Certainly. It is difficult. I mean, it's difficult when, you know, to put all the time in it takes, all the thought that it takes to create a character and a story, and then to have it not turn out the way you want is heartbreaking. You know, but I think there's a whole spectrum. You know, it's never quite going to be all you'd hoped, I think. You know, it's like I always compare it to when you read a book. You know, you read the book, it all happens in your head. You know, when they talk about somebody attractive, you think, well, who do I think is attractive? You know, everything is the way you want it. You know, this gorgeous house, whatever, you imagine it exactly as you want. And then, you know, you see the movie and you're like, that wasn't Tom Cruise, or, you know, whatever it is. So it's the same when you're writing it. You know, you make it up exactly as you want, and then you have to deal with the realities of, you know, the budget, you know, who the director wants, who you can get. And, you know, so every step along the way, it's not quite what it was. So I realized pretty early on, you just have to give up a certain amount of control, and you have to be willing to accept, you know, a certain level of change. And that's also part of the reason why I wanted to begin writing novels, because I thought, if I have, you know, the novel, I will have a finished, you know, this is what I want. It's a finished piece that, you know, will be out there in the world, and it'll be exactly as I wanted it. And then if it has to change beyond that, then okay. You know, the only part I still have a problem with is when it really turns out really badly. You know, I mean, and I haven't had a lot of experience with that. I don't think Lone Star is terrible, but it's not, you know, nearly as good as I'd hoped. You know, Moonlight turned out far better. You know, but I have yet to have the experience where I'm like, you know, it turns out really close, or, you know, to